We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to fight to hold support here. And in today's volatility, our SPY buy at 4:50 a.m. sent out a bear indicator, and from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 120% plus within an hour, guys, right after the bell, with that weakness into the middle of the day. And if you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, fighting to hold support. And in today's video, we're going to break down the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned over at the Discord. So the home run today was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run today was from our AMD bot. Our AMD bot at 1:10 p.m. sent out a bull indicator, and from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength on 42 vision, and call options went up 80% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump to these charts. Here we are with the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, doing a full transition from the rip area to multiple dip areas here. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, back under a bear indicator here at the 524.70 area, canceling out that bull indicator that popped up in yesterday's pre-market at 523 and continuing to dominate here within the chart, right? We talked about how outflows were to the downside, and it was going to be crucial for them to come back up to justify any move to the upside, and this bear indicator needed to get canceled in the process. If not, it would continue to dominate, and it has, right? And we've broken through key support levels here, and it's coming back to a key area here that we do not want to ignore, and we're going to break down in just a moment. And it wasn't just the SPY falling. You have the QQQ falling. You also had Tesla here, and also Apple going to the downside, and even Netflix in its volatility continuing to stay stuck in this chop after a big drop and a strong bear indicator since last Wednesday at the 630 area, a huge resistance for the last several days and weeks, right? So lots of eyes here at Netflix above 600 and trying to fight and hold support. Now, when we go back to the SPY here, we could see a bear indicator on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour as well. It was dominating. We talked about that yesterday, that the next piece missing to complete a full transition would be white with red borders. It was only up to red bars, and here it is, guys. Back at this level, It is fighting to stay back above 518, the support from last week when it ran back up to new all-time highs. It is fighting here in the after hours to stay above it, right? At that 518.77 level to be exact so far in the after hours. Now, when we zoom into the 15-minute, we could see within the volatility, a bull indicator has popped up for the first time and a full transition from the dip area to the rip area into the after hours in today's volatility. And the first bull indicator here since the bear indicator since yesterday in the pre-market at the 525 level. Now, this is something to not ignore because a staircase effect has started to form, and I will be breaking down now the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. We're going to take a look at the inflow versus outflows if they follow to justify this move so far. Here we are at the SPY stock, the S&P 500 index, with outflows dominating in the first half of the day on the 30-minute and inflows coming back up just like it did yesterday in the after hours. Now, it's going to be crucial for it to stay above to justify this move so far. If not, it could go through the same process as yesterday, right? Things stayed flat and quickly outflow started to dominate in the pre-market. You could see that sharp drop. It pulled down to outflows here of -5, quickly came back up, and inflows are back above. And it's going to be crucial and critical for these inflows to start pushing up away from the midpoint, as we see it here within the volatility of the 30-minute. Now, on the 1 hour chart, inflows have not came back up. So we could see why the weakness continued in the bigger picture. Full transition from the rip area to multiple dip areas here in today's volatility, and outflows dominating since yesterday, and inflows never came back up and sharply dropped to the downside. Now, here we are on this jump back up so far from 517 to 519, inflows picking up, sitting flat near the midpoint. It needs to cross over and push up higher. That's going to be something to not ignore here in the bigger picture. And on the 15-minute chart, in the volatility, outflows are dominating in the first half, inflows come back up, and outflows are heading towards the midpoint and about to cross here in the after hours. So going into tomorrow, if this pushes to the downside, it may start to reflect weakness into these charts. And the first support level I'll be watching is 517. And if that weakness rolls over into the 30-minute and pulls down those outflows towards the midpoint and even cross it to start dominating here as well, the next support I'll be watching is 515. And then below that is the 513 level. Now, when we go ahead and look at this from the 15-minute with these outflows heading towards the midpoint, if it can level off anywhere below it or above it and switch from red to green and push back up, it could continue this staircase effect. And I'll be watching if these inflows can roll over into the 30-minute, continuing to push it up. And the first resistance is 521. Then above that is 523. And then I'll be watching the 525 level. So those are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside and to the downside. The bull and bear indicators are going to be crucial. And the inflow versus outflows, I would not ignore them, as they're sitting close to the midpoint here on the 30-minute. And even when we zoom out into the 1 hour here, this is definitely something that's going to be crucial, because once it crosses over, it could quickly start to reflect some strength into these charts like it did here on Wednesday of last week. Once it finally crossed over, the SPY went up from 520 up to the new all-time highs and 52-week high of nearly 526, hitting highs up here of 525.79. So that's what I'll be watching in the bigger picture. And in the volatility of the 15-minute and 30-minute, I'll be watching if they can cross or push up higher away from the midpoint. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.